best 3 poses to achieve the smoothest results for your Brazilian wax are butterfly, happy baby, and bunny tail. So I'm going to take you through how you would coach your client into these positions. From here, if your client is on the table, you're going to ask the client to bring their feet onto the table or bend their knees. The movement is going to come from the hip joint, so we're going to ask the client to relax the knees out to the side, keeping the bottoms of the feet together. The client's hands are going to place just below the belly button, gently pulling up on the skin to pin the skin into place. So this is the base of the 3-point stretch or an inverted triangle. From here, after you're done moving through your sections, you're going to ask the client to bring their knees back together, pulling one knee in towards the chest at a time. Now, once we get the knees into proper placement, you are going to ask the client to place their hands on the back side of the knee or on the back side of the thigh. I'm going to turn slightly so that you can see what I'm doing as I coach this pose. So the knees are going to move towards the chest. If the client was to keep the knees into the chest, it's going to compress their diaphragm and it's going to make them a lot harder to breathe. And by closing everything up, it's going to make it a lot harder for you to see and get the wax where you need it to go. So we're going to ask the client to place the hands on the back side of the knee or on the back side of the thigh. The client is then going to pull the knees towards the armpits, which is going to create this diamond shape. You can ask them to touch their big toes together, their feet together. You can ask them to cross their ankles, but this is a modified happy baby pose. Once we're done in this pose, we'll ask the client to bring their toes back down to the table. From here, we're going to ask the client to roll onto their side. A lot of the times the clients will twist through the spine, and if they don't have a ton of mobility through their spine, this can be really, really hard, especially on the low back. So this also causes a problem because the hips aren't rolled all the way over for you to get into that bunny tail space. So we need the client to roll all the way onto their shoulder, just as if they were sleeping. Their bottom arm can be placed under their head for extra support. Their top hand can place in front of their chest while we get them into position for stability. From here, the knees are going to move towards the chest. The top hand is going to hold onto that top glute and lift. From here, you can get into that bunny tail space to wax everything nice and smooth. If you need to, you can get them to roll onto the other shoulder and repeat for the other side. So again, you don't want the client to just twist from the ribs down. We want the client to roll all the way over onto their shoulder. Their arm is going to place under their head. Their top hand is just going to place in front of the chest. Knees move towards the chest. Top hand holds onto the top glute to lift so that you can wax the bunny tail. And those are my top 3 poses to get the smoothest results for a Brazilian wax.